Once upon a time, a demon called Marish disguised himself as a golden deer under the orders of Ravana and then started grazing in front of Ram's hut in the forest. Sita happened to come out of the hut. She then saw the golden deer. She had never seen such a beautiful golden deer. A completely golden deer was grazing in front of her. Its entire body shone like the brilliance of the sun. It gazed at Sita through those large, watery eyes. Having been captivated by this golden deer, Sita told Ram, "Somehow or the other, I want you to get me this beautiful deer. If I could only get his beautiful skin, I could make my dress. How nice it would be. I don't know how, but I want this golden deer at any cost." Ram said to Sita, "Don't be silly. How can there be a deer made of gold? I think this is an illusion of a demon in the form of a deer." But Sita was not ready to listen to anything. She was adamant. At last, Ram felt compelled to go in order to fulfill her desire. Ram followed the deer slowly. When the deer saw Ram coming towards him, the deer started running and finally reached a dense forest. Seeing the deer running, Ram also began to run behind the deer, and it kept going, and finally he lost his way in the dense forest. You know what happened next? There was a voice from the forest. "Hey Sita! Hey Lakshman! Run! Run! Save me! Save me!" This voice was echoing throughout the forest. Sita heard the sound and she was afraid. She thought that Sri Ram was caught in some kind of trouble. So she immediately told Lakshman to go to the forest and search for Ram. "I think Ram is hurt. Brother, why are you standing idle? Hurry up and go into the forest. Help Ram. Surely he's in some kind of trouble." Hearing this, Lakshman was silent for a moment and said to Sita, "Mate, you need not worry about my brother. This is not Sri Ram's voice. This must be the elusive demon's voice. No power on earth can hurt our Sri Ram. Please don't worry. Take rest. I'm his younger brother. If he were in danger, would I be sitting quiet?" Hearing this from Lakshman, Sita got furious. Sita said to Lakshman, "How can you call yourself a younger brother when you cannot even help your own elder brother who's caught in a problem? You are committing a great sin." Lakshman was hurt with these words. So he said, "Okay, I'll go help Sri Ram." He drew a line outside the hut with the help of his arrow and told Sita, "Mate, I'm going to help Ram, but there is one request from me, that you do not at any cost cross this line and go beyond it." Sita agreed to what Lakshman said, and then Lakshman proceeded toward the forest in search of Ram. Lakshman was running through the forest and searching here and there when he saw Sri Ram coming towards him. Lakshman asked Ram, "Brother, did you get the golden deer?" Ram told him, "What golden deer are you talking about? That was an elusive demon. I've killed him. But you tell me something. How have you come here leaving my Sita alone there?" Lakshman told the whole story to Ram. Listening to this, Ram said, "Oh Lakshman, what have you done? You have committed a great mistake. A great mistake. Whatever it may be, you shouldn't have left Sita alone. This forest is full of cruel demons and monsters. She has no one except us. In this situation, if some demon or some cruel monster came over there to harass her, what would we do? Go, Lakshman, go. Let's get there immediately." Both reached the ashram, but unfortunately, Ram's suspicion was true. Sita was not in the ashram. When Lakshman had gone to find Ram in the forest, at that time, Ravana was hiding behind the bushes. As Lakshman left, Ravana disguised himself as an old sage and came out. Very cautiously, he went and stood before the ashram door. He came even closer to the ashram, looked here and there, and in a thundering voice, he asked for his arms. Mai! Give me arms! Mai! Sita came out to give him arms. Just then she remembered the words of Lakshman. Mate, whatever happens, don't cross this line. She quickly stepped behind. She gave the arms from a distance. Seeing this, Ravana became furious. He told Sita, is this any way to give us arms, Mai? If you want to give arms, then come forward and give it to me properly, or else I'll go empty-handed without the arms. But remember one thing, if you do this, you will be committing a great sin. You will never be blessed. You'll never be happy. Hearing Ravana's words, Sita got worried. She told Ravana, don't be so angry. I've made a mistake. And Sita came forward, crossing the line to give the arms. And then Ravana came back to his original form. He quickly lifted up Sita, put her over his shoulder, and took her to Lanka in his flying chariot. Sita started crying and was calling Sri Ram loudly. Now Ravana was feeling very happy. When she was calling Ram loudly, at that time Ravana laughed and said, why are you shouting like this, Sita? Now there is no use of it. All the demigods in the universe are my slaves. Slaves! Kailashpati Shankar himself has specially blessed me. That Rama, poor Rama, cannot do any harm to me. He is much too proud of his own strength. You know what happened next? A big bird named Jatayu tried to save Sita by attacking Ravana's flying chariot. He wanted to damage as much of the chariot as possible with a sharp beak. Ravana got angry. He immediately attacked Jatayu with his sword. And poor Jatayu lost one of his wings. He fell down to the earth, severely wounded. Poor Jatayu felt very bad that he could not save Sita. Ravana took her to Lanka in his flying chariot. In the meanwhile, Ram and Lakshman got tired in their search for Sita, but could not find any solution. By now, Ram felt helpless. He asked Lakshman, will I ever get my Sita back? Lakshman, can you tell me what to do? Seeing the plight of poor Ram, Lakshman said, brother, there is no need to worry like this. We can bring Sita back right now. But Ram was not satisfied with this assurance. All the birds and animals of the forest surrounded their hut, and they all looked towards the south. From this, Lakshman got an idea and told Ram, why are these creatures all looking towards the southern direction? Ram looked in that direction and he then stood up. He said to Lakshman that it's possible that somebody must have abducted Sita and gone in that direction. Ram started to hunt for Sita in that direction along with Lakshman. On their way, he saw some faded flowers on the branch of a tree. This reminded Ram of Sita, and he said to Lakshman, hey Lakshman, it was only yesterday that I had given these flowers to Sita. How come they are here now? Ram was very upset by this. They travelled a little further, and he saw some of Sita's ornaments on the ground. Ram was confident that Sita had gone from this route. I'm sure that somebody has taken her in this direction. On the way, they saw the wounded Jatayu. Seeing this bird, Ram suspected that this bird had definitely killed his Sita. So he took his bow and arrow, aimed it at Jatayu. But poor Jatayu pleaded with Ram. Hey Ram, Monster Ravan is responsible for my condition. He was taking Sita in his chariot in that direction. When I saw it, I felt extremely sad. I attacked Ravan, but he cut off my wing with a sword, and he went towards Lanka, taking Sita with him. Jatayu breathed his last after saying these words. Ram's eyes filled with tears. He praised his bravery, and then they collected leaves and wood from the nearby forest and put Jatayu's body on a pyre. Once again, they started to hunt for Sita.